Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Today is a day about Path of Exile. You're going to find out a lot of awesome stuff.
Look at his head, though.
Before we get started, though, I wanted to mention that there are Twitch drops that you can win.
Yeah, there it
On
is.
the live stream, there are some instructions for signing up and linking your Twitch account with your Path of Exile account, and if you do that, you'll be eligible to receive the drops.
Join my Twitch.
So today's live stream has got 4 sections.
You have to follow it.
Start your show with a bang, so we're going to start right off with Path of Exile 2.
Ah.
After that, we're going to show you Path of Exile Ultimatum. This is an expansion for regular
Ultimatum.
Path of Exile that's coming out literally
Path of
next
Exile
week.
2, dude.
After that, we're going to be joined by Ziggy D, who's going to host a Q&A where he asks
Ultimatum
me a whole bunch
League.
of questions from Twitch chat. So if you have any questions about the various reveals, make sure to keep them for the Q&A.
Sounds okay.
And there's going to be a live episode of the Bay Class podcast where Take Cat and his crew of Path of Exile veterans are going to discuss all of the things we've announced today. They'll be joined by Rory Rackham, who's the Grinding Gear Games developer who is in charge of the development of
You think they'll ever invite me to that podcast?
All right, let's get started. You're probably wondering
who
why
knows,
it's
maybe
been
one
so
day.
long since we last showed you any Path of Exile 2 footage. And honestly, this is because the project is so important to us that we are definitely taking our time to make sure that we make the best
Sounds
possible
okay. Cool.
action
Thanks, though, Judge.
Let's watch a new trailer.
Oh, full screen, full screen.
I'll turn off my alerts real quick.
Oh my god.
Among ancient ruins, evil grows once more.
Ooh.
What?
What the heck?
Seed of corruption advances, spreading dread and despair.
What?
Dude, this looks tight.
We must give chase.
What the heck? Yo, that looks so good.
Yo, rip my computer.
For real. Leap slam. Fireball.
Yo, the character models are different.
Ground slam.
Yo,
Yeah.
the character models are different.
Firestorm. Oh, it lagged a little bit.
These sands hide
It seems pretty on brand. Is that Templar?
3,000
Looked like him.
years of dormant malevolence. We must hunt down the seed.
Is that a hideout? What the heck?
Madness. If Rayclast is to survive.
What?
What the heck?
Oh my god.
Yo, look at
the
that health bar.
bars.
Yeah, that's sick. Arc. Ground slam? Or ground, whichever it's called.
Dude, that looks so sick, but my computer's gonna be melting.
For real. Alright, hype alert 10 out of 10, yeah?
That trailer really shows what we have achieved with Path of Exile 2. I am so proud of the efforts of the entire team in putting that together. At ExileCon, we announced that Path of Exile 2 is a true sequel to Path of Exile. So that means a new 7-act campaign. It means a whole new skill gem system, new items, new monsters,
What the heck?
character
Werewolf.
classes. All the ascendancy classes are completely new. It's got cutting
I
edge
don't know if
next
I like
generation
that.
graphics, as you just saw. Basically, it's everything you would expect from a sequel to Path of Exile.
It
But
looks
we're not
really
just throwing
good.
away our legacy.
Yeah, it does.
We're embracing it. Both campaigns will be fully playable from within the same game client. You'll be able to play
Ah.
through the original Path of Exile storyline or the new Path of Exile 2 campaign on the way to the shared endgame. All of your old characters will still be playable, and of course, any
Nice.
microtransaction purchases you've made in Path of Exile will carry on to the sequel.
Cool,
At
that's
ExileCon,
nice.
we introduced the dark forests of the island of Ogum, where you start your journey. Today, we're proud to showcase Path of Exile 2's second act, which takes place in the Vastiri Desert.
Oh, gameplay.
Welcome to Path of Exile 2's second
Gameplay.
act. As you saw in the trailer, Act 2 is centered around a caravan of Maraketh called the Ardura who live in the Vastiri Desert.
What is his Q and
You're chasing
W?
another caravan from an opposing tribe called the Faradun. There's a set of large ancient gates.
Why is
blocking the
precision
progress
on
of the
right click?
caravan through a desert pass.
Or a middle
You're
click?
being sent through the
I
Traitor's
don't know,
Passage
that's
to unlock
weird.
them.
What's R?
Split arrow?
Dash?
Make haste.
Anybody know?
Path of
Dude, did
Exile
they
2
push
is
the
a lot
screen
more than
back?
just new acts.
Aw.
We want combat to feel both brutal and responsive.
I got so
even
excited
at low
there for a
levels.
second.
Wait, that's a new
We're
ability.
ensuring that each
Yeah, it
weapon type
is.
has unique and different mechanics. Each weapon class feels different to play, and today we're going to start by
Wait, there's gonna be
demonstrating a new spear weapon
spears.
class.
Oh yeah.
Spears are a weapon class favoring mobility with both melee
Oh,
and
that's
ranged
so
attack
sick.
options. To that end, each spear will grant you at least one mobility skill. In this case, The spear comes with both an engage and disengage skill.
Nice.
When you engage, it increases your melee damage for a short time, and that really encourages you to be mobile during combat.
Just Cyclone.
Yeah, it's sweep.
One of the skills we're using here is called Whirling Slash. When you use Whirling Slash, it creates a sandstorm that grows in size each time you use the skill. When you leave the sandstorm, it explodes, dealing damage to nearby monsters.
It's like a better
One way
blade
to do
storm.
that is to use the disengage skill, which makes you fly backwards and throw projectiles.
Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool, chat.
In PoE 2, each area's mini-boss is a much more substantial fight with interesting mechanics. You'll be able to find at least one mini-boss in each area of the game. One thing I love about this boss in particular is that it destroys the ceiling when it slams the ground, letting in more light. Clever players will notice that if they're standing in the light, then they're not going to have any rocks falling on their head.
If players are intelligent, like...
The rapid assault skill that we
I can
use
see
against this boss
the
does
Reddit
3
post
rapid
now.
stabs, followed by a 4th stab that deals more damage and can stun, if you're willing to commit to a long attack time. While developing the
okay.
skills for Path of Exile 2, we were really thinking a lot about designing skills that could be cancelled early to dodge, or you can commit to the full attack for maximum damage.
Yo, do the health and mana orbs look like old? Like old?
Yeah, they look like the patch before the updated graphics.
Yeah. Huh.
Can't disrupt the rhythm of combat.
I mean,
One of the skills we're using here is
Hold on,
called
let's see.
Spear Field, which creates an area of
Alright,
spears
that's
coming out of the
cool.
ground
I was about
and
to say.
monsters
That's
who
sick.
walk into them, causing them to bleed.
I was about to
As the
say,
monsters
like,
move
this
towards you,
spear
they take
stuff looks
damage.
kind of
So
boring,
using
and
your
then they did
ability
that.
skills as a way to move away from them is a great
They
strategy.
stay in the ground too?
Alright, that's kind
In
of
Path
cool.
of Exile 2, we've invested a lot in our animation system. I'm sure you're noticing the animations are looking a lot better than they did in PoE 1. But there's also a lot of subtle detail, like characters having different run animations depending on how fast they're moving.
Wait, really?
When you use
That's
a Quicksilver
pretty cool.
Flask here, you can see the character changes to a sprinting animation.
What he didn't say is we don't notice the animations of PoE 1 because there's too much shit going on the screen.
Yeah. This dude needs to start skipping these mobs. Just run to the end.
I wonder if they lowered loot density because that's like the biggest problem in PoE right now.
They're
Like
just
so much-
using everything's loot filter, dude.
Right. It's a cool
Now
wallpaper.
that we've arrived at the Ancient Gates, we're going to show you another of the new weapon classes
Crossbow.
in Path of Exile 2.
What?
Crossbows.
Ooh.
Crossbows are special in that they grant attack skills implicitly. This particular crossbow grants Power Shot, which is a high damage single
Oh,
target attack.
sick.
In order to modify what Power Shot does,
Excuse me.
you're going to need to equip bolt skill gems, which change the type of bolts that are
Wait,
launched
I'm
into the
more hyped
crossbow.
about
Here
this
we've
than
got
the
3 different
spears,
bolt
dude.
skills
Yeah, me
that
too.
the character can switch between depending on the situation.
Armor-piercing bolts.
Okay,
Incendiary bolts.
that is actually really cool.
Permafrost bolts can be used to disrupt packs of enemies to prevent them from closing in on your position. You can then follow up with armor-piercing bolts to do plenty of damage.
Yo, that is awesome. That's a really cool mechanic.
In this area, we're helping Asala, leader of the Ardura, to open the ancient gates and let the caravan through.
Armor-piercing bolts.
Some dude just said in the chat, I have 7 ads lined up.
Oops.
What?
Because the bolt types are
How's
the
it
skill
happen?
gems, support gems that are added to them will modify
You're
whatever
not
the
using
skill
ad
is
block.
that you're using. Here we're going to add multiple projectiles to
I
our
don't know if I like
incendiary
the new
bolt.
skill gem thing though. That's gonna have to grow on me.
This means there's no more fusings or jeweler orbs.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right.
Alright, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Permafrost bolts. Armor-piercing bolts.
I like that the character audibly says what they're changing to. That's kind of cool.
Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor-piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts.
In Path of Exile 2, we're doing a lot
Nice.
more interesting things with monster packs. Here you can see some of the monsters patrolling around.
Piercing bolt.
Okay, like that won't matter because we'll be zooming across the map, right? Okay, so you just saw a random white item drop, so maybe the item densities thing's not being fixed or addressed at all.
Incendiary bolts.
I really like this. I like this cross bolt, changing your bolt thing.
Does the character have to say it every time, though?
I just saying that. I kind of like it.
I kind of like it, but like
It could get
maybe
annoying.
maybe it should have like a cooldown, like 10 seconds or something.
Could I not have but a moment's respite?
Like, what if you're flicking through both of them, like, rapidly, you know? Armor pierce, freezing bolt, armor pierce, freezing.
It's just like when you have Enduring Cry on your left click and you always hear your character like, give me a minute.
Piercing bolt.
I don't know, I'm excited. This is cool. I wasn't really too hyped about PoE 2 until I saw this.
Now we're coming to another
You know what I've
example
noticed?
of Path of Exile 2 mini-boss.
They've hidden the map.
Oh, true.
I wonder why.
Piercing bolt.
Whoa, the boss put you in a fucking little, like, enclosure. Oh, it's lagging. Nice.
Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts.
Chat spamming,
Monsters
turn
got
on the
another type of
aura.
crossbow, a siege crossbow. This crossbow grants
True.
the siege cascade skill.
Oh.
The skill is also modified depending on what type of bolts you're using.
Yo, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Alright, I like that a lot.
That's so sick, actually.
Okay, that's
That's
cool.
gonna be broken on release.
Incendiary bolts.
What do you think about that, guys?
Yeah, you can go any element now.
Give these demons no quarter. Incendiary bolts.
You think they'll add like thunder bolts and void bolts and stuff?
Incendiary bolts.
We tried to add a lot more little details to combat in Path of Exile 2. You might notice that the monsters who die while burning have charred corpses. We really want to make sure that there's a feeling that as you leave the battlefield, there's clear evidence of what combat took place there.
Again, we'll be moving so quickly through the map you probably won't notice it, but it is a nice detail.
Armor piercing bolts. Armor frost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts. Armor frost bolts.
Awesome. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like this is all cool.
Armor piercing bolts.
Now that I've heard armor piercing bolts in my head. That if I play this build ever, I'm gonna be sleeping and I'm gonna hear armor piercing bolt, incendiary bolt.
Incendiary bolts.
Asala.
Incendiary bolts. Armor frost bolts.
Oh, dash didn't change at all.
What?
She just did dash.
Oh.
Armor frost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts.
This is the perennial king, the leader of the Faradun. His goal here is to prevent you from catching the caravan at any cost.
Piercing bolts.
Cool. Cool music. I like the music a lot.
Dude, he needs to turn that aura on. He'd be doing so much more damage.
I like the music.
Yeah, me too. I like the guitar.
phase bosses. People love phase bosses, don't they?
Yeah, they're probably just gonna ignore the mechanic. Just stand in the corner.
We'll finish this, but not
Make haste.
But not today.
You must not escape.
That's a Fast and Furious quote. Not today.
Quickly! He conjures the very sands against us.
Wow, where did that guy come from?
Wait, what?
This
It's a girl.
madness
Oh.
has gone on long enough. The king is not the man I once knew. And
Excuse me.
sins swallow me if I do any more to enable him. You plan to continue your
What
pursuit, yes?
is that thing on its
You will
head?
not
Is that supposed to
get
be
him.
like an exclamation
Not
mark?
me.
We cannot fall through the raging sands.
Yeah,
Okay.
hold on. I have a
Return to
phone
the
call.
caravan
One sec.
and
Alright.
question this defector.
It is. Look at the. Oh, it's gone now.
This is the Ardura caravan, your town in Act 2.
Cool. Yeah, look at that. It's kind of weird. It's pretty cool.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I care not where you came
Has
from.
every
nor
character
the
been
caste
fully
you might
voice
have
acted in
been born.
PoE 1? I
All that
honestly
matters
have
is that
forgotten.
You have shown yourself capable in battle, Jinga. Remain a friend.
I
to
like
the
speedrun
Ardura,
the campaign and I
you
just
shall have
forgot.
Nothing but respect from us.
Storm
From
Spear.
what your shade has told us, the situation is dire. This Balbalic will live or die based on her usefulness in pursuit of the seed of corruption. Ask her what questions you will, then we, Ardura, will decide her fate.
Ardura. Cool. I like
Trust me.
buildings in this game that
You
have
see
like
the
that.
truth of my
Once you walk
information soon
inside, the
enough.
roof goes
I ask
away.
nothing of you.
Like in the new ritual
Only that you
hideout.
do what you know is right.
One of the things
pretty
we
cool.
really wanted to do in Act 2 was to use the mobility of the caravan to allow the player to choose how they explore the act. Here you're
Oh.
given 4 options on
Wait,
how to
I
proceed.
missed all that. What happened?
They're just showing the
There
lore
is a
and voice
tribe of
acting.
lost men that inhabits the Mastodon Badlands. They worship the
And then
bones of
they're
those
saying that,
long
like,
ago beasts. And that
You could
faith
choose where to
has
go
given
in the
rise to
Act 2
powerful
because you're on a
castes
moving caravan.
that can somehow call on storms
that's
and
kinda
strike
neat.
enemies with lightning. The king wishes to steal these objects of worship and use their lightning in war.
In wood.
Do what you must.
Though events demand you tread upon a valley of the dead, do not do so flagrantly. Keep your
Oh yeah, no
presence
problem,
high.
Judge.
Cleanse what corruption you can.
Glad you're
and
hanging
we
out.
shall skirmish with the Faradun to protect your flank.
Once you've picked your destination, the caravan will travel to that area and come to a stop so that you can disembark and go on your quest.
That's kind of
Like,
cool.
yeah, that scene that's snow and blood sand reminds me of Star
Because
Wars.
we just got the Storm
Yeah.
Sphere skill as a quest reward, now would be a great time to switch back to spears and use some ranged abilities. Storm Spear fires a lightning projectile which splits on contact.
Okay, let's see this. Yes!
That's
That I like.
dude.
The other
They
skill we're
updated the
using here is called
electricity,
Blazing Lance.
lightning stuff.
Blazing Lance creates a
That's
trail of fire
awesome,
from the
too.
ground,
Wait,
dealing damage over
what?
time. However, if you're willing to stand in place for long enough, you
The-
can throw a second
wow.
spear that will fan the flames from much
They
more
got
damage.
dinosaurs. Bro, the necromancers are gonna take control of these things, dude.
Okay, I'm finally like, this is awesome. Look at this. Boom. That's sick.
Yeah. Wait, that's a creature from the abyss.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh no, it's a carrion golem.
We've just found a unique spear. It's called Devata's Wind. This spear has an extra modifier that synergizes really
Did
well
you
with
read
Storm
that?
Spear.
Skills fire
When
2
you disengage,
additional.
you get 2 additional projectiles on your
Ah.
Watch
projectile
this.
skills.
Boom.
All right,
Oh my gosh.
do the fire one. Do the fire one. It didn't look as cool as I thought it would, but it's still pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause, like, I don't know. 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 I don't know
That is so cool. It's like lightning strike, but way cooler looking. That is so cool. I love the fire split. That's so cool looking. Oh, what a tank. Alright, what defensive layers does that guy have? Jeez. I think it gets hit, takes some damage. What the heck? Hacking. Alright, the carrion golems. Yeah, they're the current carrion golems.
Oh.
Those big walking like dinosaurs are cool though.
Yeah, I agree.
Dredge Obsidodons. Oh, he finally took damage. The Bone Colossus. I love that the music just gets more intense. Has that always been in PoE? I feel like I
The
haven't
music's amazing.
like paid attention.
It's a shame I won't be playing with music though.
I just said that too.
Like on my first playthrough, I might, but after that, probably not.
I love that fire skill.
Yeah, I also like how it shows both health bars.
Oh yeah, nice. Death Lord of the Black Rib Pit and the Mastodon. That's a cool ability. The like Storm's Call, but like Plaguey right there. Kind of cool. All right, that was awesome.
That was really
If you
cool.
have any questions about what you just saw, we'll be doing a Q&A later on. While Path of Exile 2 definitely won't be released this year, we do
Definitely
have a
won't
Path of
be
Exile
released
expansion you
this
can
year.
play
Thanks,
1 week
Chris.
from now. I'd like to introduce Path of Exile Ultimatum.
Here we go, boys, here we go.
Ultimatum League, let's go.
You only live once, Exile. Make your choice.
What the heck? What in the world is that? That's a cool looking sweep. What the heck? A freezing pulse? Okay.
A simple ultimatum. Leave with your life and a meager reward.
His face is a chaos orb.
Risk it all for a
You're
chance
right.
at
Wait,
ungodly
what?
riches.
Huh?
It's a dude. This is what I said. It's a never-ending dungeon. You can just keep going.
The challenge
That's awesome.
grows,
Dude, I literally said this, didn't I?
and
Yeah.
leave with nothing. Reap the reward you deserve.
8 new gems.
Okay. Rework vendor recipes. Rework the Veil mods. Rework Cataclysm. What the heck?
Dude. This
Rework-
is huge.
Wow, they're reworking everything? Oh, this is a patch where they fix all the bad uniques? It's by league.
Ultimate reward requires
Oh, man,
ultimate
this is-
risk. Face the ultimatum.
Dude, this is tanky build season, dude.
Let's go. That was sick. His face is a chaos orb.
When some people think of the Val civilization, they think of blood sacrifices, or Queen Atziri, or lost temples in the jungle. But I think of risking your items. From Val orbs through double corruption, the whole Val or no balls meme, we had to make sure that this expansion
Val
was
or
about
no
the
balls.
concept of risking your items to get great reward.
Wall Street bets.
In each area of the Ultimatum League, you'll meet the Trial Master, an emissary of a Val entity only known as Chaos.
Yeah,
On
his
the
face
heart
is a
of
chaos orb.
The
Haha.
Trial Master enacts trials where exiles must risk an escalating set of valuable rewards as they attempt to overcome progressively more difficult encounters. In each trial, you'll be presented with a reward, an objective, and a selection of difficulty modifiers that make the trial harder. Once you've chosen one of the modifiers, you must then complete that objective under the constraints of that modifier
Oh
in order
my.
to win the promised reward.
Wait.
If you succeed in the challenge, the Trial Master will present you with an ultimatum. Either walk away with what you have earned so far, or
Dude,
risk
I
it all
was-
to
Okay,
win additional
that
Oh
is.
my
rewards.
God.
This is awesome.
He'll offer you another item.
This
if
is
you can select
insane.
An additional difficulty modifier and complete the challenge with both modifiers present.
Oh
If you
man,
fail, though, you'll lose both rewards and walk away with nothing.
nice.
Bro, this is insane.
It's like
If you
ritual,
succeed, you'll
but
be offered
way
an additional
cooler.
Better,
reward in exchange
yeah.
for adding yet another difficulty modifier that stacks on top of the current ones. This cycle continues until the rewards become increasingly valuable and the encounter extremely difficult. You'll have to pick a point to end your run and claim your spoils before you make the encounter too hard and lose everything. At its longest, an ultimatum in endgame maps can sometimes have up to 10 fast trials in a row, with a special surprise
Damn.
in the last one.
Special
In maps,
surprise.
you'll occasionally find items called
what is this?
inscribed ultimatums. These items can be placed in the map device to transport you to the Trial Master's domain.
Okay.
Each inscribed ultimatum specifies an offering that you must bring with you, a reward you can
Oh.
earn, and an assortment of ultimatum difficulty modifiers. If you're able to complete the Trial Master will reward you with a specified reward, which is usually worth around twice the value of the item you must bring. For example, you may be asked to risk an Exalted Orb to win a stack
What?
of 2, or potentially risk a stack of 5 to win a stack of 10.
Oh
Naturally,
my
inscribed
God.
ultimatums can be traded with other players, so if you don't feel capable of completing a difficult challenge, you may be
Oh
able to
my
trade it away
God.
for a portion of the difference in price between the reward and the
The
item that must
nurse.
be risked. Likewise, if you have a powerful character, you may be able to selectively trade for profitable ultimatums.
Oh my
with
god,
others.
sacrifice Whispering Ice to get Void Battery.
There are also new unique items that can only be obtained from Ultimatum.
Wow, that's really
One
cool.
such unique is the Glimpse of Chaos Val Mask, which provides powerful benefits to your maximum life, mana, and energy shield at the cost of having severely reduced elemental resistances
What
and
the
no
heck?
chaos resistance.
Terrible.
The item can be corrupted
Oh.
multiple times and has unique corruption outcomes, such as removing a random modifier or transforming it
Oh
into
my
a different
God,
random
that could be
corrupted unique helmet
insane.
entirely that retains its corruption implicit mod. Another new
What?
unique item in Ultimatum
Holy
is
shit.
Mother's
Dude.
Machination, which grants you 6 keystone passives at
Holy
once.
fuck.
Combining all of these
What
keystones
the
results in some
fuck?
very unusual outcomes, and the item features an entirely new unique
Bro.
keystone as well.
Wait, you get all of them or one? I didn't
We've
even
worked
listen.
hard to make sure that Ultimatum doesn't punish you for being in a party with other players. Party members compete in trials together, but have separate rewards available to them that will need to be logged in
Multiplayer,
to begin the
yay!
trial.
Oh, okay, cool.
Each player votes on which difficulty modifiers to select. If there's a draw in votes, the modifier will be chosen at random. If one player wants to take their reward and opt out of the next difficult trial, they're able to do so without stopping the other party members from continuing.
Cool.
Rewards are dropped allocated to the players who earned them. So that's Path of Exile Ultimatum. I can tell you, on release day, a lot of our developers are looking forward to watching Twitch so we can see players risking far too much in order to try to get good
And
rewards.
YouTube, right?
Speaking of rewards,
Yeah, like
there's
me.
a lot to talk about here. We had a look at Path of Exile's past reward systems, and we honestly feel many of them are out of date, many of them kind of lack identity, and to top it all off, like the core drop pool of just items that drop when you kill regular monsters just wasn't really compelling enough. Like, you know that feeling where any monster can drop a mirror? We want that for a whole slew of different items.
What?
And so we've made a lot of changes to Path of Exile's reward systems. There's a
What?
bunch of ones to the core drop pool to keep it really interesting.
What?
There's ones to basically every piece of League and expansion specific content. And we're going to go through all of those for quite a while now. And I should mention that every change we're about to discuss not only affects the Ultimatum League, but also Standard League too.
Who cares about Standard League?
We started by reviewing which items can drop from monsters and chests in the core game. To make sure the core drop pool remains compelling, we've made various changes. You can now find 2 additional currency items as core drops, Orbs of Binding from the Harbinger League,
But no one
and
uses
the
that.
new Veiled Chaos Orb, which we'll reveal in more detail soon.
Okay.
We've
then.
also added 5 new Atlas-based types, like this Energy Shield Recharge Amulet.
What?
These drop in specific regions of the Atlas.
Oh,
and have some
sick.
powerful new implicit mods. Another topic related to the core drop pool is that of boss runs. Veteran community members will remember when people used to do Val Oversoul or Dominus runs over and over because they were a profitable use of time. Final Act bosses now drop more and better items, giving you a much more satisfying close to a difficult act and a more item-focused approach to getting ready for maps if you prefer.
Difficult act.
We have also added a bunch of very powerful and valuable League-specific uniques into the core drop pool. This means that they can drop from any sufficiently high-level monster without you having to engage with specialized content.
Oh, Matt Lighty's
Examples of
creaming
these
right
are
now.
Badge of the Brotherhood.
Brotherhood, Asylum, Pledge of Hands,
No
Maloney's Mechanism,
way.
Brutus's Lead Sprinkler, and Headhunter.
Wait, what?
Wait,
The
what?
goal of all of these changes is to make sure that every monster you kill in Path of Exile has a chance to drop something incredibly
Wait,
valuable.
you can just
regardless
gotta-
of what content you're playing.
Rest in peace, Headhunter, dude.
On top of all of that, we have added a handful of new vendor recipes, which let you make some pretty cool stuff.
What the fuck?
We really miss the days when players were scrambling to try to find unknown recipes, and so we're looking forward to seeing how long it takes for you to discover how these ones work. We have also introduced a new type of reliquary key into the core drop pool for this expansion. If you're very lucky, you can find a Val reliquary key from any monster or chest in
Oh,
Path of Exile.
sick.
When consumed in the map device, it gives you access to a vault with a chest that drops a special foil version of a Val-themed unique item.
Cool.
Each unique has an equal chance of dropping. Due to the value and power level of the items contained within, this is the rarest reliquary key ever added to Path of Exile. The rest of our reward changes relate
Wow.
to items that you can earn by playing past content like prior leagues and expansions.
Matt
We
Lighty's
have two
creaming
goals here.
himself.
The first is to add and improve items so that all past content is a compelling set of rewards. The second goal is to make it so that the best way to get any reward is to play the content that is primarily associated with that type of reward.
What?
Path of Exile's first expansion, Sacrifice of the Val, introduced a new ultimate boss, Adzeri, Queen of the Val.
Yeah.
This fight holds up pretty well these days, considering that it is 7 years old, but its rewards really needed a refresh.
Yeah.
The Sacrificial Garb base type that drops from Adzeri has been significantly improved with the addition of an implicit mod that grants +1 to the level of all Val gems. you
Not
have
bad,
equipped.
though.
We have also added 2 new unique items to Adzeri's drop pool and
We-
2 more to
Uh-oh,
upgrade Adzeri.
that's what I'm playing with.
One of which is the Adzeri's Rule Judgment.
I love
Orb,
trigger
which prevents you from
weapons.
being stunned or
Hell
having
yeah.
your damage reflected. It grants a skill that alternates between Flames of Judgment and Storm of Judgment when used, as if you absorb the powers of Adzeri herself.
Okay, I'm using that.
Skipping forward to 2016's release of Ascendancy, we have made some changes to how you receive your Labyrinth enchantments. Previously, when
Oh,
you
boy.
completed the Labyrinth and went to enchant an item, you couldn't see what random result you'd get. Now, the result for each type of enchantment is shown to you in advance so you can make the right choice. In the Eternal Labyrinth, you're now offered 3
Oh,
different
wow.
enchantments to pick between, in
Sick.
addition to the boots and gloves. This will make it a lot easier to find enchantments relevant to the skills you're using and to apply them to appropriate items.
All right, that's poggers in the hole.
In 3.14, we're going to stop giving out unique jewels
Thank
for each
God.
day's fastest Labyrinth runs, and we have added these jewels as very rare drops that you might find
Hey,
in the
that's
Labyrinth's
great.
final reward chests.
Neat.
Another highly requested Labyrinth-related improvement is that you can now consume an offering
Oh
to the
my
goddess
God.
in
Oh,
map
that
device
is the
to open
best.
portals directly
Finally.
to a random trial. This greatly accelerates the speed at which you can
Wait,
find your
what?
final
Oh,
trials.
finally.
That's awesome.
We've
What
also
is
added
this?
2 new Labyrinth-specific unique items, including the Scales of Justice unique shield,
Cool.
which rewards building your character with a careful balance of life and mana.
Oh, cool.
If used correctly, you'll be granted protection from shock and ignite, as well as additional fire damage.
That's really cool.
Kadira Perandus now has a much larger selection of unique item
Oh.
rewards.
Bit-
We have also rebalanced all sources of
Ooh,
Perandus
bated
coins
breath.
so that Perandus content is still the best place to get them from. A craft introduced in Harvest kinda destroyed the Perandus coin economy, so we're absolutely fixing that at the same time. Essences have been numerically rebalanced and are in general stronger than they were before. Screaming Essences can now be used to reroll rare items, in addition to their capability to upgrade items to rare.
All right.
4 Corrupted Essences have had some of their less useful outcomes improved or replaced. Now, the only way to get the powerful upgrade-only top-tier Essences is through Remnants of Corruption,
Wait,
which
that's
come
pretty
from
good.
Essence content.
All right.
More
That's-
money.
Yeah, that's
Blessings,
cool.
the currency used to upgrade Breach Uniques, can now be used to upgrade Breach Stones between tiers also.
Oh, nice.
Abyss jewels have been rebalanced and are on average more powerful than they were before.
What is that ability?
We've also buffed Abyss chests to make sure that they are the best place to get Abyss jewels.
I want to use it.
We have also introduced Abyss Scarabs and have added 4 new Abyss-specific unique jewels, such as Tekrod's Gaze, a murderous eye jewel that increases your main hand critical strike chance and your offhand critical strike multiplier based on how many murderous eye jewels you have equipped.
That's cool. Abyss kind of
Another
sucks,
example
though.
is the Ulaman's Gaze Searching Eye Jewel, which counts how many Searching Eye Jewels you have equipped and grants your projectiles a chance to be able to change when colliding with terrain proportional to this number. These unique jewels have a chance to drop from any of the unique encounters at the end of the Abyssal Depths.
That's going to make the replica chest piece with all the Abyss sockets way expensive this league.
We have added a handful of new beastcrafts, such as add a mod to a map or add a mod to an influenced item, which consume existing beasts.
Okay.
There are some other aspects of beast crafting that we've been keeping
this
our
is
eye
so
on for
sick.
a while, and we're taking this opportunity.
So they
to
nerfed
rework
Harvest, but
them,
made every
so
other
the high-level
crafting
gameplay
thing
is
better.
less reliant on obtaining certain beast
That's good.
crafts. Now, when you use a splitting beastcraft recipe on an item, both copies are marked as split, which prevents them from being split again. You cannot imprint split items.
Oh, nerf the splitters.
One of my favorite reward changes in this expansion is that Incursion's Temple of Atsuato can now be itemized. Once you have access to the map device, Alva can turn your completed and ready-to-run temple
That's
into a
gonna be
tradable object
insane.
that can be consumed in the map device. This means that players can specialize in either making temples to trade to other players
you can just buy
or trading for temples that are ready for them
sacrificial
to
chamber
run.
now.
Yep, that's going to be your
There have
moneymaker
also
this
been
league.
a lot of changes to the temple. As you may know, specific rooms in the Temple of Atsuato can drop unique incursion items that can be later upgraded. Many of these base unique items have been improved in this update. Previously, the temple's boss, the Omnitect, dropped random rare items with special incursion
What
mods
is that
on them.
ability? I want to
Now
use
it also
it.
drops rare items with incursion mods based around the themes of the rooms your temple contains. Higher tier rooms cause more rare items. Specific rooms now add specific monster packs to the temple, which results in more monster density, challenge, and reward. Temple mods have been buffed so that if your temple has more high tier rooms, then it's equivalent to a good map. We have performed a modernization pass on rewards from temple rooms so that they're competitive with rewards from newer leagues. The explosive room also contains some basic chests that can be opened with flash powder kegs if you don't need them for opening a path elsewhere in the temple.
Handy, yeah.
Delve has had a big increase to early rewards and a reduction to the quantity of high-tier rewards spawning at very deep depths.
Screw deep delvers.
The end result is that Delve is a lot more rewarding.
That didn't really bother me.
Extreme players who delve very
Nah,
deep
they don't
will not
bother
be
me that
getting
much.
quite so rich from it. A big problem with rewards and betrayal is that players deem it not worthwhile to kill Katarina because it
True.
resets your betrayal syndicate board. In this expansion, we have massively increased the incentive for doing this. Now if you manage to kill Katarina, all syndicate members drop their rewards at 1 tier higher than they previously would.
Whoa, okay.
This change required the introduction of a new 4th tier of reward from each syndicate member and encourages the use of a larger variety of syndicate targets and safe house leaders.
Those are cool wings. Are those in game right
We've
now?
improved rewards that were not as interesting or valuable as the best ones.
Does anybody know?
For cases where we deemed rewards too powerful, we moved them to tier 4 rather than nerfing them. The tier 4 rewards are approximately twice as powerful as tier 3 ones were. We've also added a new unique item to Katarina's drop pool as further incentive for killing her. The Cane of Kulamak drops only from Katarina.
Oh my god.
Similar to Paradoxica, it has 3 veiled modifiers that must be unveiled one at a time via Jun. This means that each version of the cane could be entirely different, and because of the way the veiled modifier system works, you have the chance to get 3 mods that potentially synergize extremely well, or maybe just a crazy bag of mods that don't work together.
Those are cool. It's a cool
Furthermore,
staff.
the cane
Looking
itself
staff.
scales up the magnitudes of any unveiled modifiers on it. We have made some changes to how unveiling mods works. You still get offered a choice of 3 mods, but these are now more powerful versions of the existing ones.
Wait.
The powerful ones are unveiled onto items, and the normal versions are the ones you unlock that can be crafted onto items. Also, progress towards unlocking crafting of veiled mods is at a slightly faster rate than before.
That's cool, I guess.
Some very powerful veiled modifiers are now only available at their original strength on the unveiled version of the modifier, and the crafted version of the modifier has been lowered in power.
Like,
Earlier in the presentation, I alluded to the new Veiled Chaos Orb as an item that has been added to Path of Exile's core drop pool. This new currency item rerolls the target item with new mods, like a regular Chaos Orb does, but one mod is guaranteed to be a Veiled mod. While it can drop from any monster or chest in the game, by far the most effective way of getting it is from Iceland and some betrayal safe houses.
the focus one's gonna be really
We've
good.
introduced 3 new types of incubators,
more
called Blight,
incubators.
Metamorph,
Oh,
and
yay.
Delirium, and have modernized the rewards from the other incubators. The item yield from chests and blighted maps is now affected by a portion of the map item's quantity, giving you a reason to roll your blighted maps if you can handle the additional
Oh
challenge.
no.
Anointments to blighted maps have been rebalanced and reworked.
You
so
actually
that
have to
each
make
has
them
its own
yellow
purpose and with
now.
a consistent increase in reward as the oils get rarer. This is basically entirely buffs, because one big nerf we needed to do was already done last league. You can now corrupt
Oh
blighted
my.
maps. These can very rarely drop the new tainted oil, which allows you to apply anointments to corrupted
Handy.
items.
Cool. All right, that is awesome.
We have also introduced blighted scarabs.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Nice.
We've added 2 new types of catalysts
Oh,
themed
boy.
around speed and critical
Crit's
strikes,
gonna be
respectively.
Crit's gonna be,
These
yeah.
new catalysts are rarer than previous ones.
Yep.
As discussed
Oh,
in the
boy.
recent development,
Oh, here we
manifesto,
go.
The current 3.13 version of Harvest
Hold
is
on
too
to your
rewarding,
butts.
so we're rebalancing its crafting and also increasing how often you'll encounter portals to the Sacred Grove. The current version
Don't look at
spams
Twitch
you with
chat.
way too many crafts, so each seed has a chance to grant a craft now, reducing the overall number of crafts you can perform per garden, though you will encounter the grove 60% more than you did before. Some of the most powerful crafting options have been removed or changed. The Heart of the Grove encounter is now a map fragment that can randomly drop from tier 4 harvest bosses instead of rarely replacing the
Wait,
entire
why?
grove when it spawns.
What?
What's the point of running
With the
it?
release of Ultimatum, Ritual
No
will be added
way.
to the core game, with
Yay.
a chance to occur in each map you play. It has also been added to the Atlas passive skill tree system and is available as a Sextant mod.
All right, that's good. I love Ritual.
Almost every time we
Yeah, I
release
like
a
it
league,
too.
we later roll it into the core game
I don't
with
know
a
if
chance
it-
to spawn in maps.
I don't know if it
Usually
deserved to
10%,
be core
sometimes
though.
5%. When Ritual is added to the core game, we are standardizing this rate at 8%, which means a small decrease for some leagues and an increase for Harvest. We have rebalanced other things to compensate, like the rate at which heist rogues level up. Most Atlas passive trees have the same increase in chance for bonus content, meaning they now offer more than double the chance
What's
of
that
encountering your
sphere?
preferred content.
That's Frost
So I
Shield.
just spent a ton of time describing lots of buffs to Path of Exile's different reward systems, and there was one nerf that I left to last. And this because it's a nerf to a league that I kind of care about a bit. Talisman was one that
They're
I kind of
gone.
led the design on, and players joke that it's my favorite league. Now, in the 3.12.3 content update, there was a change to talismans. Basically, they weren't good enough, so the team decided to add a random anointment to them, which made them a lot more powerful, and also to juice up the mods to make them well rolled. And that was overkill. Like, as you've seen recently, talismans have just been dropping with insane mods and great anointments, and we felt
And I
in
still
this
don't pick 'em
expansion,
up.
especially because you can use tainted
Yeah.
oils in order to redo the anointments on talismans, because now you can modify corrupted amulets. Honestly, they don't need the well-rolled mods anymore, and so we've removed that. Talismans are still compelling, but they're not quite where they were in the last league.
And I still won't
Every
pick
Path
them
of
up.
Exile expansion needs
Yeah.
new ways for
All right,
players to
here we
slaughter
go.
their
This
enemies.
is my
In Path
part.
of Exile Ultimatum,
Yep.
this takes the form of 4 new skill gems and 4 support gems. In line with Ultimatum's Val theme,
All right.
these gems focus on blood. The idea of spending life
Blood.
rather than mana to use
Oh,
your
boy.
skills. Alongside the
magic,
new skill
making
and
a
support
comeback.
gems, we've also made some adjustments to the low life
Oh,
mechanic,
boy.
including changing the
That
low
was me,
life
sorry.
threshold to 50%. This makes it much easier and safer to stay on low life for builds where it matters.
Oh, that's nice.
Typically, when players create low-life builds, they rely on Energy Shield to protect themselves against incoming damage.
What?
The new skill Petrified Blood enables low-life
What?
builds to instead
Oh
use
my
some of the
God.
life pool to absorb hits. While it's active, you can't recover life above 50% through any method other than flasks. Sources
Okay.
of life recovery, like life regeneration and life leech, only apply to the bottom half of your life pool.
What?
Additionally, a portion of incoming hit damage that affects
That's a
the
cheat
lower
death,
half of your
dude. You
life
can't-
pool
you
is
can't get
spread
one
out over
shot.
time
Yeah, that's
rather
sick.
than being applied instantly.
Literally a cheat death.
Corrupting Fever consumes a chunk of your life and grants you a buff that causes all your hits to
Oh
apply
my
corrupted
God.
blood to your enemies. Corrupted
Wow.
blood stacks up with each hit, causing more and more physical damage over time. When you have consumed a certain amount of life to cast skills from your life pool, the buff's duration refreshes. Essentially, as long as you're consuming life to use skills, you'll be causing damage over time to stack
Look
on
at
enemies.
that.
Be careful though. The Exsanguinate skill
That
shoots
was
tendrils
sick.
of blood in front of you at the cost of life.
Oh,
rather than
that's so
mana.
you,
In
dude.
addition to a
That's
strong
so
physical
sick.
damage hit, it also
Blood.
applies a physical damage over time debuff, which can stack up to 3 times.
Ooh, don't
You can
lag.
also support Exsanguinate so that its tendrils chain from one target to the next. Reap conjures a giant bloody
That
scythe
looks so
swings
cool.
across a selected area, applying strong hit damage and physical damage over time. Each use of the skill causes it to gain a charge that scales its damage up and increases its life cost up to 5 times. These charges drop off over time as well as after killing enemies, making Reap very powerful at stacking up damage against single targets.
Cool.
We've also added 2 new support gems that have split the existing blood magic support into 2 separate support gems. The first of these
Wait,
is the
look at the
Arrogance
set he's
support,
wearing.
which
What is
causes
that?
supporters' skills to reserve
That's
life
cool.
instead
Probably
of
the
mana,
supporter
and
pack.
it also provides an increase to the effect of auras that it supports.
Huh.
Just like the original blood magic support gem, the reservation multiplier diminishes as the gem levels up. The Life Tap support gem causes supported skills to cost life instead of mana. Once you've consumed a certain amount of life to use a skill, you gain Life Tap, which increases your damage for a few seconds.
Huh.
The Cruelty support gem grants a buff called Cruelty, which increases the damage over time you deal with supported skills.
Oh.
It also boosts the hit damage from supported skills, and the Cruelty buff gets stronger the harder you hit. This gem is designed as an additional option for builds that focus on both hits and damage over time.
Oh, man.
The Bloodthirst support gem is a new option for low life attackers. This gem adds a percentage of your life as physical weapon damage while you're on low life, letting low life attack based builds really scale their damage,
like
which wasn't an
low
option
builds.
before. Alongside a Val themed expansion and blood themed gems, it felt right to take the opportunity to improve Val skills, which are supercharged
Dude.
versions of regular gems that charge up with the souls of your slain
Val
enemies to
Earthquake.
deal huge bursts of damage.
Blight.
One of the main improvements is that you now get far more souls for Val skills from damaging unique enemies, so your Val skills will recharge faster against bosses.
Okay.
We've also improved the Atziri's Rain unique jewel.
Bro, everyone's gonna be
Alongside
using that
increasing the
gem,
duration of your
the
Val
skill gem
skills,
for your
it also
health,
grants a
so you
chance
can
to
get one
regain
shot.
all consumed
yeah.
souls. Val skills have also
Oh
received a
my
balance pass that you
gosh.
can check out in the full Path of Exile Ultimatum
That's just,
patch notes in a few days.
Spectral Throw.
So we've covered most of the key components that make up Path of Exile Ultimatum. Keep an eye on the news over the next week as we reveal the finer details of what's
Well,
coming.
I got a lot of work
We'll
ahead
move
of
on
me,
to the Q&A
chat.
shortly to answer your burning questions, but first let's have a quick look at the new supporter packs that are available right now to celebrate the launch of Ultimatum.
All
and
right,
help
let's see
fund
these.
ongoing
Let's see where I'm putting
development
my
of Path
money
of Exile.
towards.
The Silver Crescent and Imperial Sun supporter packs come with masses of points to spend in the store,
Ew.
social frames,
Yeah,
forum
that's pretty
titles
cool.
and badges, a download of the
Oh,
digital
no.
soundtrack,
That's
and
ugly.
of course
I don't know if I
exclusive
like
cosmetic
these, dude.
microtransactions such as armor sets, alternate helmets, and weapons.
That's cool, but I don't like the
The
other
Silver
one.
Crescent series has an exclusive portal effect, and the Imperial Sun series has an exclusive
That's cool.
aura effect. Each series has 2
Alright.
packs, and the smaller packs can be upgraded to their
looks like a
respective
chess
large
piece.
pack anytime while they're still on sale. These are, of course, in addition to the new core packs that were released at the end of last year. Remember to check those out if you haven't already.
Don't forget to give us
Thank you so much
$420.
for your support. Purchases of these supporter packs are the only thing that fund ongoing development of Path of Exile, its sequel Path of Exile 2, and expansions like Ultimatum. The
And
reveals
loot
we showed you
boxes.
today are already live on YouTube for you to link to your friends in case they missed the live stream. Please do so. We're keen to get a
Dude,
big
this
turnout for the
league
release
is
of
going to
Ultimatum
be
next week.
insane.
And we've got plenty more reveals planned for the
Because
rest
of all
the
the new
year.
updates.
There's a
Yeah.
lot more Path of Exile 2 stuff to show off, and we've also got some new progress on Path of Exile
Oh,
Mobile we're keen to
no.
share with you as well.
I'm probably going to end
Anyway, if you
the
have any
stream and
questions
start
from
it
what we've
back
shown
up.
you today, please
just
get
so
them ready because I'm about to be joined by Ziggy D as
my
we do a
recording's
Q&A
up.
based
Path of
on your
Exile
questions from
Mobile.
Twitch chat.
All right, I'm going to stop the